We have a storm approaching, and I thought this would be a good time to show you how I direct sow my seeds for each season every year. So today I'm going to direct sow my summer seeds, and what I like to do is I wait until it is about to rain, and if I have to hold off a week before I direct sow my seeds, I'll wait for the rain to come along, and then I run out and I throw everything in the ground before it rains. The seeds pop up in no time with a little rain, and that's just how I've always done it. So let me show you what I do here. I have everything ready to go. As a matter of fact, this little basket here has my seeds that I've selected, and I did all this about a month ago. And they've been sitting here in this basket waiting for the perfect time to go and throw them in the ground. I have in here some seeding gloves, which are very dirty. Those aren't my good harvesting gloves. I have a lot of different kind of squash, cucumber, some different kind of flowers, mostly green beans. Those are what I really want to get into the ground today, are my green bean seeds. And then right here I have my mixture of what I use to feed my plants, and so there's a lot of good stuff in there. I will include a link if you'd like to see how I side dress my plants and what I side dress them with. This is what I use when I direct sow seeds as well. Okay, so let's go down to the garden and I'll show you what I'm going to put in the ground. It has been so hot, about 90 degrees for about 3 days, and so today it's 74. Well, like I said, we've got the storm approaching, so I'm going to head on down here and put some seeds in the ground. So I'm going to pull out the weeds first, of course. Now I'm going to scratch the surface down here. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of my mixture on here. And I'm going to plant pink tip greasies. Okay, and now I'm going to mark it. This looks like a good spot for a cucumber, another vining plant. I have a tomato here that I just planted out last night, and then I'll put a cucumber here. I can choose to let it grow along the ground or trellis it. It works. Cucumbers are fine if you trellis them. And so I'm going to plant an English cucumber called Chelsea Prize, one of my favorite fresh slicing cucumbers. Okay, I just scratched the surface. Don't go too deep or you'll disturb your worm. Anyway, we're going to put some of my mix here on top. And for cucumber, I'm going to plant 2 to ensure germination. I always think that direct sowing cucumber seeds, along with many other vegetables, is always better. You're going to get a much better root than transplanting it. However, I have started some, in my 4-inch pots, but just as a kind of a backup. But I'm going to go ahead and I always direct sow my cucumbers as well. Alrighty, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plant some bush beans in my square-foot garden, and I'm planting jade bush beans. These are wonderful bush beans. You plant those 9 per square foot in a square-foot garden. So I have actually grown this. I've grown it every year. I love this bean, and I will include a link to a seed review that I did on it if you'd like to check it out. Maybe it's something that you would like to grow as well. So right here I have one square that's open. I had just harvested some romaine lettuce last night, and that is wonderful. It's in my fridge. I've got to eat it up. Now I have some spinach here. I'm going to go ahead and pull out that spinach plant. The temps are starting to heat up pretty good, and not sure how long it's going to last there, and I'd like to plant at least 2 squares of beans because I only have one open. So I'll pull out that spinach plant, and as you can see, the one behind it is already bolting on me. You can tell it's starting to bolt because it's stretching upwards, and the leaves are getting further apart on the little stem there. So I know it needs to come out, and I may just go ahead and pull out all this and go ahead and use it in my smoothie this afternoon. And then I can plant all my beans here, and it's going to love the rain it's going to get in just a few minutes. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and pull those out, and we'll get to planting. Okay, so this spinach plant's going to go ahead and come out. You see, I'll show you bolting here. Alright, And I'll go ahead and take this one out because I know it's not far behind it. And I want to get my summer crops in. 2 and 3. And I'll leave just a couple more. I'll leave a couple of those in. Okay, let's just break up the soil a little bit. I'm going to give it a little bit of my mix here that has all kind of things in it. So I'm going to plant 9 per square foot. So I have about 2 square feet here. And we'll start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in they go. Sprinkle with a little bit more of my mix. Mark it. I know that that's going to be 2 squares. And on to the next one. Then over here, I went ahead and planted out some galangal last night. I put out some tomato plants, as I pointed out earlier, and that was because I knew today was going to be cloudy and we were going to get rain. So my garden tells me when to plant things. This is what I'm just trying to show you here. I wait until the signal for rain, shade, before I really get aggressive on my plantings. So sometimes I sneak a few in here and there, but it just requires so much work for me to water them when it's 90 degrees outside. Why transplant something out in the morning, evening, whenever, if it's going to be hot and not raining? Just wait till it's going to be shady and a lot of rain, and you are going to be loving your garden, and your garden's going to love you. And while I'm out here, it doesn't look like that little broccoli is going to get much bigger, so I'm going to go ahead and pop the head off of that. And then you might be able to see there are some more shoots popping out on the side. So I'll still be able to continue to harvest this. I planted 5 squares of jade bush beans, and that'll give me about 45 plants. Those will all come in at the same time. I think in about 65 days, I think. So in about 2 more weeks, I'll plant out some more, probably 5 more squares. I'll have a lot more space in my garden then, so I can pull out a lot of these other things will be coming out. What I'm going to do now, since this is a corner of a bed, I'm going to plant a vining plant here, a cucumber, and it can go right up this little trellis where the snow peas are. So I'll go ahead and put this over here. That's one of the things about planting on the corner of my beds is I can always trellis them up and out. I've always done it that way, and I like these little metal trellises because I can move them easily through the garden. Some trellises, once you have it there, it is stationary. It's not mobile at all. You can't just move it around. But when you buy these little metal trellises, they're great. And I think a good place to find those is at Big Lots. I bought mine on clearance at Walmart many years ago, off season. I got a good deal on them. Okay, so there you have it. I've got some things in the ground. I have a lot more to plant. Normally, if I already had the bed over there, that's at the far end of my garden, if I had it already weeded and ready to go, I would go ahead and plant my corn. But because I don't have it ready, obviously I can't do that today. But that'll be fine. The corn will pop up faster once it gets a little hotter. Okay, so thanks for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day. I lightly steamed my broccoli. Eating broccoli any other way, fresh from the garden, ruins it, in my opinion. Just fresh, lightly steam it. And I'll show you what else I'm going to do here. Now I'm just going to drizzle this with some butter. This is so good. This is the only way I eat my broccoli that's fresh from the garden. It's fresh from the garden. The only thing it's going to get from me is some salt and some butter. So good.